So we're going to start here with, Appendix A, and this is a norms conversion tables for primary and secondary subtests. So we'll walk through what those subtests are. But remember, the important thing is that the chronological ages are important here. So this is a young man, again, 10 years, 11 months. And if we go back here, we're going to look in Appendix A. It's going to convert to a landscape format. So you can see here that there's separate age groups that are being displayed. So you can see here that says 6 years, 4 months, 8 days to 6 years, 7 months, 30 days. So we need to find 10 years, 11 months. Whoops. And I think he's, 19 days? Yeah. So let's find that. So we can see here, it's highlighted for us. So 10 years, 4 months, 7 days. So that's 11. So it looks like it's here. I don't know why it says 11. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so 10 years, 8 months through 10 years, 11 months. So this is the right one. This is the one we need to have. As you can see here, 10 years, 8 to 10 years, 11. Okay, so then we rotate it so that you can see and I can see and we can see together. Kind of scroll up here so we can see it together. And then what we have, as you can see here, I may have to shift this over to the computer in a minute here, but we're going to so there. All right, and you can see here there are different abbreviations for the subtests. So just walk through these with you. So BD, block design, SI, similarities, MR, matrix reasoning, DS, digit span, CD coding, VC vocabulary, FW figure weights, VP, that's visual puzzles, PS picture span, SS symbol search. So those are the ones we're going to be working with. But if you keep going on, right, so it keeps going information, picture concepts, letter number, sequencing. This is cancellation. This is comprehension, arithmetic. So let's get you oriented to this particular table here. And as you can see, we're going to rotate this up a little bit here. So as you can see, down the left side here, highlighted in green, are the scaled scores. As you can see here, scaled score. And next to it are those subtests that I just went through. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at what the student's raw score is, which is this white side right here, raw score, and then we're going to go across to the left to find out what that scaled score is. So if we remember from our administration, this young man earned a block design score. I think we can go up a little bit. A block design score right here of 14. Block design 14. And if we look on right here, right, so we're going to find 14. That's associated with a score of 4, a scaled score of 4. So where do we write that number? We write it in the white box across from block design, 4. And then we carry that number across over here, 4. Okay, so again, one more time. So in the column here is the range of scores, raw scores, for block design. So we find the raw score of 14 here, and you go across to the left into the green area. That's a scaled score of 4. So that's what I wrote here and here. Let's follow suit with similarities. So similarities, raw score of 18. Let's find 18 on this. So that's us right here. That becomes a scaled score of 6. So we're going to write a 6 here and here. So now we find matrix reasoning. So matrix reasoning, you got a raw score is 11. So that's right here. Scaled score of 4. Hope you can see that right there, right? That's a 4. So 4 written here. And we write the 4 there. So as you can see here at the top, right here, scaled score, raw score. And then the subtest name is here. Okay, so we've done block design, similarities, and matrix reasoning. Move on to digit span. So that abbreviation is initials DS, digit span. So here's digit span, raw score of 13, digit span, scaled score of 3. So 3 here, 3 here. Coding, raw score of 24. 24. So we're starting to get a little cramped here. 24. Scaled score of 4. So 4, 4. Okay, I'm going to switch sides now because the same representation is on the other side here. So you can see here in the green, scaled score, and then we've got the raw scores over here. So I'm going to move the clipboard out of the way here. Might have a little bit more mobility. Okay, so let's slide back this way, and we have vocabulary. We had a raw score of 18, so we're going to find VC. Here's VC vocabulary. So we had raw score of 18, 18 right here, and the line is right above there is a green line, so we know that if we follow that green line all the way across, 18, scaled score of 6. Hope you can see that. Oops. Scaled score 6. So on my protocol, vocabulary 6, white box next to it, and then going all the way across, 6 goes here. The next one is figure weights. That's a 15 looks like. So let's find FW. Figure weights. Now some people use a ruler, and that's fine. You can do that. So I do have a ruler here to make sure I don't make any errors, right? So figure weights. Let's scroll down so you can see. See FW. We had a score of 15, raw score of 15. So here's my 15 all the way across. My ruler here. So figure eight's 15, that equates to a scaled score 7. So figure weights, figure weights 15, 7, 7, and 7. Now we've got visual puzzles. 7. It's a VP. That's the abbreviation. So let's go ahead and find VP in our here. So we scroll down a little bit. VP, and we said a raw score of 7. So raw score 7. Go across. Scaled score 4. Visual puzzles 4. 4. Now, here's something important to notice. Right here, we started having parentheses. So all the numbers above here have no parentheses. So this is an important distinction. When we get to here, you remember in class I said the first 7 subtests are attributed to this full scale score. So you only add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 scores to obtain this full scale score. So don't add anything with parentheses to get the calculation of the full scale score. So I draw a little line here to just help me remember. Okay? Let's do the rest of the scoring though. We only have 2 subtests left. And so those 2 subtests are, we have picture span, which was a 11, a raw score of 11. So if we look on our sheet here, that's PS. You can say PS, right? Okay. PS, raw score of 11. Let's find the 11. There it is. And then we go across. 3, scaled score of 3. So 11 to a 3. Okay, so we're going to write the 3's, even though that's in the parentheses range. So picture span 11, 3, 3. Okay, and the last one is symbol search 24. Symbol search SS. find that number. So this is SS, and we said it's 11. Oh, I'm sorry, 24. 24 means we get to this green line right here. 24. That's right there. If you go across, symbol search 24, that equates to a scaled score of 10. Okay? So we're going to put the 10 there. So here, 10 here, 10 here. Now, the next step is to do the calculations of adding all of our scaled scores to get the index scores. So let's, so you can see here we got this all filled in. All right, and then just one more thing to note. So we're going to add these scores together to get the index scores. So you're going to go by column, of course. So remember that we talked about trying to get a sense of where the subtests are attributed to the index scores. So because we have these two verbal subtests, similarities, vocabulary, those two scores contribute to the verbal comprehension index score. We have block design and visual puzzles are attributed to visual spatial index score. You then have matrix reasoning and figure weights attributed to the index score of fluid reasoning. We have digit span, picture span associated with working memory. Coding, symbol search associated with processing speed. So we're going to use each of these two scaled scores, add them up to get the sum of scaled scores for each index. So you can use a calculator, whatever you want to do to help you sort of do that. Sometimes, again, folks like to use a ruler so they don't kind of mess up the scoring. So I know that 6 plus 6 gives me 12. So I'm going to write 12 verbal comprehension index score. That's the sum of scaled scores. So remember, these are from raw score to scaled score. So sum of scaled scores, we're adding these ones in the white and green. So let's do the next one. So we have block design and visual puzzles. 4 plus 4 gives me 8. So that's here, visual spatial. Next we have matrix reasoning and figure weights. 4 plus 7 gives me 11. That is fluid reasoning. 11. Next, we have digit span, picture span. We have 3s. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then last, we have 4 for coding, 10 for symbol search, and that equates to 14. So write the 14 under processing speed. Okay. All right, so let's make a quick distinction here as we're working through this. So in the Sattler book, when it talks about scaled scores, we usually talk about scores between, let's see here, 7 and 10 as average. So 10 is the mean, 3 standard deviation. So that would mean between 13, right, and 7 represent average performance according to scaled score points. So 7 to 10 is average. Or 7 to 13, sorry, 7 to 13. Okay? Now, we need to do the computation for the full scale score. So that's down here. Remember again, we're only adding the first 7 scores to get that computation for full scale. So let's do that together. 4 and 6 gives us 10. 4 and 7, I'm sorry, 4 and 3 gives us 7. 4 and 6 gives us 10. And then we have 7. All right, so here's the cool thing. 10 plus 7, 17. 10 plus 7, 17. So 17 plus 17 gives me 34. So I write 34 right here in full scale. So now we have here sum of scaled scores, and then here it says sum of scaled scores to composite score conversion. So the next thing we need to do is take each of our sum of scale scores and transfer each of the scores to its respective place on this part of our summary page. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have verbal comprehension, 12. That's going to go in the verbal comprehension score right here, 12. We have visual spatial, that's an 8. 8 right there. Fluid reasoning is 11. 11. Working memory is 6. 6. Processing speed is 14. 14. And 34 is for full scale. 34. Now, that same kind of rule does not apply to the sum of scale scores. So there's not like an average, right, sum of scaled score. That only applies to these scaled scores for the subtests. So that average, again, 10 is the mean standard deviation of 3. So between 7 and 13 are average subtest scaled scores. Now, what do we do with these sum of scaled scores? Okay, there's another section in our manual, our administration and scoring manual, that gives us these conversions. I need to write this score a little bit better. I can't really see it. 14. Okay, so now we're going to convert sum of scaled scores to composite scores, and percentile ranks is next. So let's find out in our administration and scoring manual where this information is at.